Hello, and welcome back to Trails of Cold Steel 2. We are in Celdic for what should be a short stop off after rescuing Elliot's sister. And this will be the end of part 1 of Act 2. There are 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bonding events, of which 5 can be kept. Oh, no, 12 bonding events maybe, and bad at counting. There's a bunch of those, and there are a few items to collect, but there's not too much stuff to do here. So I will do all of it today. I'll do the stuff in here first. Gaius's won't be saved. Actually, let's do this. Gaius's won't be saved. Toa's will be saved, and Elliot's will be saved. So I'll do this section first. This store really is a mystery to me. But today's the day. It's time to figure out whether the stuff here is worth buying or not. Let's see. A knife designed for mincing and an orbital corkscrew. I can't tell if I'd be getting my money's worth with these. Definitely not with an orbital corkscrew. You don't need an electric corkscrew. Hey there, take a look at this razor that's been fitted with an alarm clock. You'll be waking up and looking sharp with this. So, the Imperial Army is here to replace those provincial army troublemakers, huh? They don't seem like a rowdy bunch, which is fortunate. Maybe now I'll finally get some business done. He definitely won't. He'll definitely not get anything done, so I have to buy this. Cat ears. Bears. No set items, so I don't need to buy any of that. It's weird that these are still green. They probably just duplicated them. Who leaves their meat cooking unattended? That's not safe. Especially with all the cloth. It's gonna burn this whole market to the ground. Okay, I'll have to go to the shop first. Ah, the honey shop. Honey facts time. It's a common misconception that bees make honey simply by gathering the nectar together from different flowers. But there's more to it than that. Once the nectar is gathered, the bees pass it to one another while chewing it until it finally turns into honey. This unique process makes honey a product we humans could never make on our own. Aren't bees amazing? There is, like, simulation honey, right? Or things that people might call honey that is very much not honey, but people call it that anyway. Oh, that's this guy. I can see it in your eyes, young ones. You're questioning my presence here, are you not? There is no need for surprise, though. Those who have a passion for freedom are guided by love itself. And now, the time has come to heal the downtrodden citizens of Celdic with my soothing melody. It's pretty grating, actually. I insist that you all listen as well. Considering he's been playing the same song for the last... It's been like 6 months since we met him. It would be very grating very quickly because it does not change. The war seems to be moving in a somewhat different direction now. Some may be under the impression that the Noble Alliance will make up for this loss with ease, but my gut tells me it's going to have a considerable effect on things down the line. Call it my merchant's intuition, if you will. Ho ho! Elliot and Toa will be saved. So relieved that Fiona's safe and sound. I shouldn't have to worry about her as long as she's with Dad either. Except, your dad is at a military base, and part of the military, and so a common point for attacks to occur, so it's really not the best. She should be in a different country if you want her to be totally safe, but whatever. Yeah, there's no guarantee that she won't run into danger in the future, but next to your dad's a pretty safe place to be. Yeah, she should stand on the tank with him. I'm just glad everything worked out in the end. It wouldn't have if not for you and Valimar, though, and the rest of our classmates, of course. It won't be easy to repay you, but I'll be sure to help out as best I can. Come on, we've been through enough that you don't have to worry about repaying us. Just take some time to rest for now. Oh, I know. While I'm here, I might as well go listen to that fiddle player. I probably won't get a better chance than right now, right? You'll see him in a couple weeks. Everywhere you go, you'll see him, so you don't really need to worry. You'll have so many chances to listen to him. Maybe I should join him. I actually want to skip this one, but it gives a character note, so I can't skip it. Oh, are you coming too? Sure, might as well. That wide open area over there looks like it would make a good listening spot, shall we? You could also listen from where you are right now. We shall. Ooh, different music. Clap, clap, clap. Not bad, wee man. Oh, wait, no, this is Mr. Goddish guy. Yeah, music like that is perfect for the Grand Market. Ah, yeah. Now I'm all jazzed up to work twice as hard. Thank you, thank you. Please note that the hat is open to donations. Wow, he's good. What the... That performance was something else. Yeah, even I could tell just how good it was. It seems to have lifted everyone's spirits here in the market a little too. Haha, you're right. It really is incredible how something so simple can put people's minds at ease. Music really does hold its own unique power, doesn't it? I'd have to agree with that. Concerts like this one, and even our own, really make me realize how amazing music can be. Yeah, I feel like that fact's sinking in for me all over again. There are things that music can do that military forces can't. Oh, what a bad line. There's things it can do that military can't. There's also things that cooks can do that military forces can't. There's things that soccer players can do that military forces can't. It's a nothing statement. Just like how there are things we can do that no one else can. Rescuing Fiona is as good an example of that as any. Exactly. Whenever we're feeling down, we just have to remember that we've got our own role to play in all this. And we'll keep trying to find it while doing all we can to bring this conflict to an end. Yeah. What a nothing. If it didn't give a character note, I would never save that one. That was absolutely nothing. Wow, music's power. Trial? Yeah, whatever. Clean and Vita, Usus, Fee, the Truth. Okay, Gaius has a lot better stuff than Elliot. God, I hate that he's still, like, classified as class 7 because despite every terrible thing he did, he's still like, oh, they still want to be friends. It's like I've been no, I'm not reading that. I haven't done Toa. I spoke with the market manager, and he agreed to let us use some of the stuff from the stalls that have closed down. Really? I guess people just abandoned their goods? Normally I wouldn't have... I normally wouldn't have asked, but George said he needed materials for repairing the ship. And they have the materials in these stalls? When you're acting captain, you've got to work with what you're given. This looks like a bit much for her to carry all on her own. I can take half of that for you. Actually, I could probably take more than half. This stuff's probably as heavy as you are. There's no way you should be carrying it all on your own. Except you could just do it multiple times, but... Hehe, well, if you're sure. Oh, since you volunteered, mind doing something else for me too? There's a bunch of unusable stuff here that I thought I'd take for myself. So if you wouldn't mind, a bunch of stuff she'd take for herself, not for their general use on the ship, but for herself? You want me to drag this junk for you somewhere? If you think you can turn it into something useful, then sure. Reen cheerfully helped Toa sort all of the usable items from the unusable items, and together the two of them carried anything worthwhile back to the ship. After that, they took the unusable stuff to the highway. There we go. All ready. This looks like a setup you'd see on a firing range. Uh-huh, that's exactly what it is. Those, on the other side of the river looks like farming fields. You probably shouldn't shoot into farming fields, not even just from a hitting people perspective, but from leaving bullets in the earth there. Probably not optimal. Anyway, this is the perfect opportunity for me to get some practice in, and you know what they say, there is no time like the present. Practice? What kind of practice? Hehe, just watch. Wow, gun practice? Is it... Okay, so it doesn't have bullets, probably? It still might... I guess it won't damage inorganic material? This is a normal gun, isn't it? A pretty big one at that. The design doesn't look a thing like your standard Rhineford production, though. That's because it was made at ZCF and Liberal, apparently. It's different from your average Orbital gun, in that it shoots arts-based bullets. I guess the easiest way to understand is to think of it as an Orbital staff, but like in the shape of a gun. First our Arcus units, now this. Technology continues to impress. I had no idea ZCF was even producing stuff like this. Prince Oliver gave it to you, didn't he? Yep, right before he parted ways with us. It's a prototype too, so normally only people involved in its development would be able to get their hands on one. The prince must have some connections within ZCF, which would be Tito and Tito's grandfather, and I guess parents, because both the parents work at ZCF. I can't remember. It's been years, a couple years since I played the Sky games, but I think her name was Tito, and I believe it was her grandpa and parents all working at ZCF. Huh, lucky us. I bet Alyssa'd be surprised to hear about this. Hey, well, it is a totally new invention. I thought I'd be okay with it, because of my experience using regular orbital guns at the Academy, but turns out I was wrong. So, would you mind helping me out with my target practice, Reen? Yeah, be my target. Not at all. Can I ask what brought all this on, though? You're already the best backup I could ask for. It seems odd for you to be taking up a weapon now. I was actually a bit perplexed myself when he handed this to me, but I think he realized that I've been worrying about my own lack of strength lately. You have? Sorry, I didn't notice. Oh, it's okay. It's just that I've been tasked with looking after the courageous. I can't rely on everyone protecting me forever. And this isn't just some minor clash you've been swept up in either. This is a full-on war in every sense of the word. Yes, a war is, by definition, a war. If I can't look after myself, I'm just going to end up being a burden. That's the last thing I want. So, can you see why I want to become strong enough to protect myself? This has really been weighing you down, hasn't it? It's not just that either. Viscount Arcade specifically chose me to succeed him. He's trusting me to fill his shoes. To me, that makes it my duty to become capable of supporting everyone on the Courageous. Again, as is common, this music is meant to make it kind of emotional-ish, but because it's the same music every time, no impact. Just, oh, this is the 16th time I've heard this song in the last 30 hours of playing this game. But anyway, well, that's more than enough to convince me. If you've got your heart set on this, then I'll gladly help you out. Let's become stronger together, Toa, along with the rest of the Courageous. Yeah. But like, she's like 2 meters away, 3 meters away. She's not that far away. She may be small, but I don't know anyone else who works half as hard as she does. Imagine, like, even in your head, prefacing that by saying she may be small, as if that has any bearing on it at all. This writing is, as always, goofy. I'll have to do what I can for her sake, too. After joining her practice for a while, Reen leisurely walked Toa back to town. See now, the way that's phrased is counterproductive. She's trying to make it so she can, stand up for herself and shoot people. But Reen walked her back, not Reen walked back with her. There's a clear difference in the intent. With Reen walked her back is more of a weird protective sort of message, because they're both going back. Reen has to go back to town anyway. If Reen was going somewhere else entirely, walking her back and then going to that other place, walked her back would make sense. But it's just the writing, man. The writing. It could be better. Okay, only one person. Note on the further stall. Close for the day as we restock. Yeah, only one guy here, one guy there, then Gaius. Step right up, folks. We've got another big sale going on today as well. And just in case you didn't feel like these prices are enough of a steal, here you go. A bit of goodwill on my part. Gambler Jack 2, Chapter 9. 1, 2. So I just need a recipe. And there is potentially a medal of charity. Same thing. Provincial army's been cleared out. Anything worth buying? Nope. Alright, troops. I heard all about your little rescue mission. Can't believe you even chased off the provincial Bampots? Pure brilliant. If you need any food, I'm your man. I'll even throw in something extra special for you. Wahaha. They didn't throw anything in special for me. Phew, it's been a while since I did business at the Grand Market. I'm beat. Times like this make me want to brew up a nice cappuccino, sit back, and relax. Speaking of, I can teach you the trick to making a mean cappuccino if you'd like. Comforting cappuccino. Bitter juice. Restores 10 craft points. Cures poison. Okay. Just look at that windmill off in the distance. I can't. Let me change my camera angle. Amazing, aren't they? I wonder what led people to think of harnessing the wind's blessings like that. Haha. Perhaps the wind's the reason this market's merchants are as resilient as they are. Guy seems particularly interested in Celdic's windmills. I saved beforehand just to be totally safe, but I still should bet it's better to save there. Townspeople built structures that harvest the blessings of the wind, and it's definitely unique to this town. It's definitely not no other place has ever made a windmill. Now that you mention it, Marcus, Elliot, and Fee were hiding out in a windmill on the highway for a while. We could go and ask the farmer who owns it to let us take a look around if you'd like. I can't think of anything I'd like more. Bet you'd like the war to be over. What are we waiting for? Let's get going. Of course. They went to find Marcus, who in turn introduced them to the farmer who owned the windmill. And once they had his blessing, they headed out onto East Celdic Highway. That's the one they were hiding out in during their time here. Huh? That's odd. It's not spinning. The windmill stopped. Yeah, maybe something happened? We should let the farmers know about it. It seems to be a problem brought on by aging. You see that rust on the cog up there? That's stopping the blades from turning properly. I see. Is it difficult to fix? Not at all. All that needs doing is replacing the cog, and it'll be good as new. As it so happens, I have spares here just for times like these, so we don't even need to go anywhere to get them. Oh no. I just realized I took the stepladder that was here back to the farmhouse. I'm not going to be able to reach the cog without it. I'll have to go back home and get it. Oh no, if only some young lads would lend a hand. No, that won't be necessary. Reed and I could reach it if we work together, I think. I bumped the microphone. Goofy. Whoa. Yeah, this is pretty high already. It's not that high. You think you can reach it? Pretty sure, yeah. Just, don't drop me. I think I can manage that. Oh, to be young again. Here you go. This here's the replacement cog. The blades should start turning again once that's in. I mean, it should be more than just putting it in, but it's working. Sounds like the turbines are blowing with the wind again. The turbines aren't blowing. They would be spinning. That would have taken a lot longer if not for your help. Thank you kindly. Let me treat you to some freshly baked bread for the trouble. It was made with rye that was ground right here in this mill. Are you sure? Thank you very much. That was delicious. Yet another one of the wind's blessings. Having the opportunity to see a windmill up close was a pleasure too. Thanks for showing me, Reen. I owe you one. Likewise. This windmill kind of reminds me of you, you know? Really? How so? A windmill stands tall and dignified, always in tune with the wind. There's also the fact they provide for us in inconspicuous ways. Kind of like you guys. Guess I'm just realizing how reliable you are all over again. Haha, thanks. I'm flattered, really. I'll do what I can to live up to that image. We can't rely on you all the time, though. There's too much of a burden. That's too much of a burden for one person. So let's do what we can together. After observing the windmill for a while longer, they returned to town. Your bond with Guy strengthened. Okay, anything to say? Delicious bread. Educational. Kind of boring. It was better than Elliot's, though. Okay, so I will need to save Emma, Eustace, and Sarah's. Emma's on the left, Eustace is on the left, Sarah is on the right. So I'll do the right and then go right to left. Or east to west. Which would actually be left now. It's gonna be these people complaining again. It was scary watching all those soldiers pass by. Jake's apparently couldn't pass up the opportunity to put dirt in my shoes. He really will take any chance he gets. Gotta admit that Susie's getting good these days. Those soldiers scared her real good though. So she's still got a long way to go before she can avoid being pranked. Heh, you should have seen her face when she noticed. I thought about it a whole bunch, and now I know why Jake and Susie argue so much. They hate each other's guts? No, the opposite. They were probably bitter rivals in a past life. And now they're destined to clash forever. That has to be it. They'd never argue so much if it weren't. I enjoy that, that's fun. You gotta get the cat. Cat is fun. 1 person, 2 person, 3 person, 5 people. 1 in here. It's Rosine, and she will give me items. How nice to see that you've been in good health since we last met. Well, was he in good health the whole time? He's in good health now. He was in good health when he left. Maybe he wasn't in good health between. You don't know. I was admittedly a little worried. After our last parting, I hadn't heard so much as a whisper of your whereabouts. I'm sorry. We didn't mean to worry you. And coming off of that might not be the best bargaining tactic, but could we tempt you to join us on the Courageous? We're trying to build a crew of as many Thor students as possible right now. Me? I'm afraid not. While I'd like to, I feel as though I'm making significant progress as a medicine maker here. I'm not saying I won't ever be able to join you. I'm just afraid I must ask you to wait a while. Is that alright? That's fine with us. We'll come back and catch up again later. Still, let me give you something to help you in my absence. I hope they'll prove useful. Thanks, I'm sure they will. I want one of these characters to not join them aboard the Courageous. I want them to be like, nah, I got better stuff to do, and just not join. It would be way better. A lot of us are having trouble coming to terms with no longer being under Duke Alborea's rule. The Alborea family's been in charge of this town for a long, long time, after all. That's why we're all so uncomfortable about it. Nobody has any idea how this is going to change things. There's going to probably be less aggressive taxes for at least a little bit. Rosine recently started learning how to make medicine. She's taken to it very well, I should add. I believe she's mastered the basics already. At this rate, it won't be long before we can leave her in charge of tending to those coming in with minor injuries. It's a true relief that no harm came to the town after all of that commotion. I can only imagine how many casualties would have emerged had the two armies clashed here. I'll be holding services so that people can give their thanks to Adios for keeping us all safe. I'm sure doing so would be a good way to help ease the townsfolk's nerves. Milliam. Apparently, they're going to hold a Sunday school class right here really soon. They did those in the chapel in Trista too, right? Oh man, this is so cool. What are they like anyway? Yep, every Sunday. What? Wait, you've never been to Sunday school? I mean, his first reaction of, yep, every Sunday, is like, were you even listening to her? Learn how to listen, Reen. No, sorry. Don't feel like I missed it out on anything either. Even if hearing about kids getting educated does make me think about the academy all over again. She said she doesn't feel like she missed out by not going to Sunday school. But she sounds kind of interested to me, which doesn't mean she feels like she missed out. It just means she's curious. It must be tough having to go to school when you're that young. Still, it kind of brings back good memories of the academy. So maybe it's not all bad. She said she doesn't... If you're curious about Sunday school, why don't we watch one of their lessons together so you can see what it's like? Are we really allowed to do that? The church is meant to be a place for everyone. I can't see them kicking us out. Assuming you can stay quiet and not cause trouble for anyone, that is. No problem. I thought she was gonna say no problemo. That's in character, but no, it's just no problem. I'm the queen of quiet. No problemo would have been way better. Not long afterwards, the children of Celdic began pouring in. It wasn't a long wait before class was in session. Hooray, here we go. They all look even younger than you, Milliam. Why are you allowed to bring a kitten into class? That's kind of silly. Well, I'm a grown-up after all. That's one massive stretch of the definition of grown-up you've got there. In fact, you'd probably be in classes for early teens if you went to Sunday school. Does anyone know the answer? What's up, Susie? You stuck on such an easy question. If you're so smart, why don't you tell us the answer? Well, I could, but I don't want to make you look bad. You tell her, Tran. I can't count mirror that well. Do you know the answer, Lulu? Meow. Tee. Well, alright, alright. Settle down. Perhaps that was a bit too difficult. I know. The answer is 273 reggae? That's the distance, isn't it? The kid was saying he doesn't know how to count Mira that well. Is that not a unit of distance? That's correct, but who might you be? She looks older than us. Milliam, what did I tell you? Hey, what's the problem? I'd normally be going to Sunday school at my age anyway, right? Hehe, listen up, kids. I'm actually a student from none other than the amazing Thor's Military Academy. How about I take this chance to teach you all as your substitute teacher? Kick her out. The story should end right here, with Milliam being kicked out. Excuse me? Now that sounds fun. Let's study together. Meow. More of a meow. She's as wild as ever. But I guess she's sort of helping out. No, she isn't. She's making it so the actual teacher can't do teaching. It's actually just getting in the way. With the sister usurped, Milliam took up the role of teacher for the day. Breen was worried at first, but surprisingly, she ended up doing a stellar job of helping Sister Olive out. Well, except for the part where she almost gave Rena a stroke when she tried to introduce Ergetlam. All in all, the kids had such a fun time with their lesson that Sister Oliver even thanked them afterwards. Pretty sure her name is Olive, but whatever. Because I believe that's their real name. That was so much fun. Sunday school doesn't seem so bad. Can we go again? Can we? Haha, I'm glad you enjoyed it that much. You weren't half as bad as the teacher, too. You did almost ruin it by bringing Ergetlam out at the end, though. I probably did so well because of all the time I spent at Thor's. Totally. Everything you guys taught me ended up coming in handy. Hehe, I kind of miss our classes there. So let's do what we can to end this war and get back to school. Yeah, we will. I mean, if you think about it, setting Celdic free was the first step towards that. So let's keep it up, Milliam. Roger. Milliam, bond strengthened. Cheer and cover. I don't actually know what that does. I'm gonna check. Milliam, cheer. Sometimes encourages partner when they are attacked. Recover 10% HP, 20 craft points. Interesting. Pretty fun. Still like the academy better. Yeah, it's Olive, not Oliver, and it's not updated, so it didn't change. So far, these bonding events have been pretty meh. None of them have been very interesting. Toa's had something going for it, but it was definitely not very interesting. Now I need to go to the Orbital factory. See what they have to say. Thanks to the Courageous, we landed our first big deal in a while. We'll be helping to resupply it. Great news, right? Not if you're my old man. He's not really into the idea of profiting off of a big deal like this. He's going to have to learn a little bit of flexibility one of these days, or we're really going to be get in trouble. I mean, obviously if they're desperate, but it kind of makes sense that if they believe that the work being done by the courageous will help their profits long term, cutting a break, like giving them a discount, makes sense, you know? Making it easier for them to stop the war quickly. Can I... I'm surprised Evade 2 is still a basic one. But now, as long as she has Shining applied to her, she has 100% evasion. Nice. Very early in the game. Well, actually, it's not that early. It's 40 hours into the game. 50 hours into the game, almost. Guess the provincial army left while I was busy working. Not that it matters around here, except you can get paid better now in theory. Otto's the only man who represents this town in our books. We don't need no provincial army or noble alliance. Never have, never will. Except I thought one of them was explicitly extorting people. So, not having a group of people extorting townsfolk is a good thing. And he would probably recognize that, but whatever. It's the character who doesn't care about anything at all. 1, 2, and B. B is not saved. What a weirdo. What a weirdo. Anton's here. I went all the way to Gorelia Fortress and still couldn't find any clues. Where are you, Ricky? I'm not giving up on you, Ricky. You're my one and only best friend. And I'm gonna find you. Hey, people. Noise levels down a little, please. Cat trying to sleep here. The way they're hooting and hollering, you'd think the war was over. Well, they were just freed from a brutal tyrant. Let them have their moment. It's not like we're using today for anything but rest, right? Except what Selena's saying is that their partying is messing with her rest. And if the only thing they're using the day for is rest, that's a negative. I guess things did turn out okay. You guys meshed pretty well with Valimar too. So try to keep that up for next time. But don't do anything too crazy. Got it? V? This doesn't really make sense. Because she could just go back to the ship, right? I should have guessed she'd be asleep. Odd place for a nap, V. Now that I think about it, this was about where those Jaegers showed up last time. Maybe the worry that they might show up again tired her out. Hope she doesn't catch a cold sleeping here. Again, colds are... I can't remember, I think colds are a virus and not a bacteria. But colds are passed from person to person. Just because you're sleeping in the cold doesn't mean you will get a cold if a cold is not introduced to you by someone else. So the act of sleeping here would not give her a cold. It would just make her more prone to getting a cold. It's just a common thing that's very pointless. Z. Dead. I don't want to leave her here. But I don't want to wake her up either. Maybe I can carry her to a bed without waking her up. Maybe you could call Emma or Laura to do it for you. They would definitely be willing to lend a hand, especially Laura, because Fee is her best friend, seemingly. Up we go. I'm surprised at how light she is. I hope she's eating well enough. We might be in the middle of a war, but someone her age still needs to eat and sleep well. She's still growing. She clearly sleeps well enough. Not that she's ever had an issue with sleep. Maple leaf pattern. She's actually built pretty well for how young she is. Weird. It's like her muscles have developed specifically for the purpose of being useful on the battlefield. Just holding her like this tells me a lot more about the life she's led until now. Rain? You're a creep, Rain. Sorry, did I wake you up? It's fine. What are you doing, though? You were napping in the hallway, so I figured it'd be best to let you sleep on an actual bed. So you were taking me to bed, then? Let's not say things that would wind up labeling me as a criminal. What's up? Nothing much. I had a dream about what happened 10 years ago, back when the boss first took me into Zephyr. Again, the music is being played, meant to be an emotional moment. Doesn't help. It actually makes it worse. Ah, I see. Might have been because you were carrying me. I wish I could see him again. I know, Fee. Looks like she was only half awake. Has she started seeing Zephyr's leader in me, though? It's true that we've essentially become Fee's new family at this point, but even then... Maybe I'm weird. What, like, I don't know. New family at this point, they haven't known each other that long. I get that people can get close crazy quick, but like, they haven't known each other that long. They've like, it's just too quick to be like, we are her new family. Woohoo, we're her new family already. Let's give it a little more time. But even then, we can't replace Zephyr for you, you know? Well, I mean, nominally they could, but guess there's no need to bring it up. She'll probably have forgotten all about this once she's awake. There we go. I'll wake her up when it's time for us all to meet up. Black screen. Bye. People to talk to. Laura's will not be saved. Sarah's will be saved. Oh, there you are. The heroes, except there's only one person here, so it's not really correct writing. The heroes who conquered the Twin Dragon Bridge themselves. Thanks, but heroes might be overdoing it. I'm just teasing. Give yourself some credit, though. It's thanks to you that the provincial army's gone. We really owe you one. It's not much, but here. This one's on the house. Tomato stew. Thanks, ma'am. It looks delicious. It'd be rude to not accept it after she took the time to make it. Well, I mean, it's a stew, so she probably just had a large amount made and gave you one serving, but whatever. Hot milk tea. These two are merchants, and these are people. Seems like Sarah had a big part in that battle as well. It's funny when you compare how she usually is to how she is on the job, isn't it? Guess I'll keep her company while she's drinking today. While we may be under the Imperial Army's jurisdiction now, our main concerns still getting the railroad back on track. Its concerns, but it initially, the scanning, reading it, it's like our main concerns, plural, is what I thought it was going to be written as. But it's just singular, our main concern, which there's only one main concern. So it's confusing. To that end, we'll have to deal with both the provincial and imperial army. That's about as difficult as it sounds, too. We'll need some way to handle this effectively. Little did they know it involved flipping Luisa's skirt. Oh, York, you can't just mess around because you're struggling for ideas. Get those gears turning for the town's sake. No, how brazen of me. I see you're doing as well as ever, Squirrel. I could say the same for you. Focusing on selling daily necessities is certainly a sound plan. You've even set your prices well. I just went with my gut for the most part. Wasn't expecting to make quite this much from it though. Maybe I was just born with it? I hate to admit it, but she's right. Most merchants couldn't get by being quite that careless. So, Laura's is not saved. Okay. Alphen, Laura, and Machias are the only three left that I do not save. It's been quite some time since we were last here. No matter how long I'm away, I don't think I'll ever be able to divorce this place from my memories of our field study. You can say that again. Man, we had no idea what we were in for back then, did we? We've really grown a lot. Haha, that we have. And we owe our transformation to the experiences we've shared and the people who have supported us along the way. We should be careful not to forget the debt of gratitude we owe each and every one. Should I stay here and rest? We've truly blah blah blah. Can I join you for a while, Laura? By all means. Perhaps you'd like to order something as well? I might not be able to finish all these because there's there are 12 bonding events. Each one takes at least like 5 minutes. So even just going through all of them would have taken an hour. Guess I'll have some tea too. Excuse me. That seems impractical. Hey there, what'll you be having? Oh, I wasn't aware that you were taking the orders as well. Actually, our waitress seems to have disappeared. Oh, I sent her out to run some errands. We're still kind of packed though, so I'm on the floor now, for now. Really? That must be exhausting. Well, you get used to it after a while. Anyway, what can I get for you? Green, shall we? Yeah, you read my mind. We have a proposal for you. Would you be willing to let us assist you until Luis returns? This is, as always, such a silly thing for them to include. It's like trying to further highlight how they're goody two-shoes characters. But, like, she's the one running this inn restaurant. She's the one who is theoretically profiting while running it. She's the one who should appropriately hire people. Or she herself is already aware, yeah, if I send her to run an errand, I'll need to cover the front for a bit, but it won't be that long. It's just, to me, it's weird to offer to help, especially when they probably won't accept payment afterwards. Like, they might accept tea for free, in which case, sure. But it's just, it's a weird part about these stories where they ignore the fact that people get paid to do work. Like, there was Reen did a day of babysitting in the previous game. At the end of it, he's like, someone offered to actually pay him money for the time he spent tutoring a kid. They're like, oh, I'll pay you money for this. He's like, no, why would you do that? Why would you pay me money for rendering services? It's just, it's her job. She's used to this, presumably. Like, if she needed people to help, she should hire a part-time person. She should hire someone else to run errands at a lower hourly rate because it's only 1 hour per day or whatever. Like, it's just a weird thing to highlight as a central component of a bonding event. Until Luis returns. You sure? I'd hate to make you work when you should be relaxing instead. Like you said, it does look like you're kind of swamped at the moment. This is a good opportunity for us to pay you back for your hospitality during our field study, too. If anything, I'm the one who owes you for your help. But if you're willing to give it a shot, who am I to say no? I mean, her agreeing to it is reasonable. Free labor. Come round the back. I'll show you how to handle some of the more basic tasks. Except, the reason they're offering to help is because she's swamped right now. Right at this moment, she is busy. So she shouldn't have the time to teach them how to do basic tasks when she has a lot of customers right at this moment. After their crash course in food service, Reen and Laura began helping out at the inn. Reen was on duty at the counter, while Laura served as Louise's stand-in until she returned. Well, color me surprised. Good going, guys. This will be a nice way to repay Margot. And on that note, beer me, champ. Mind doing me a favor and not getting plastered while I'm on duty? I'm underage, so I can't sell alcohol. Except in this world, you can probably buy alcohol at the age of 12. I need a coffee and carbonara for table 3. Coming right up. That's kind of a gross combo, can I be honest? It's not necessarily for the same person. But coffee and carbonara at the same time just doesn't mesh in my mind. It might be delicious. It might fit well together. It just seems like it wouldn't. Wow, aren't you looking adorable? I must admit, this attire makes me feel rather self-conscious. Also, there's only like 2 tables with people, so they don't actually portray the place as packed. I don't think I've ever seen you wear an apron before. You look cute though. It suits you. Blush. Predictable. Oh, please, there's no need for that. More importantly, we should probably get back to work. We did volunteer, didn't we? Got it. At some point, while the two were working, a group of girls came rushing to the store to cheer Laura on after catching wind of her waitressing exploits. And while this made her feel much more self-conscious, she still kept working diligently, a rosy tinge coloring her cheeks. Soon after, Louise had returned from her errands. And that's it? Okay, they're gonna talk for a bit, but like... that was actually kind of fun, despite how hectic it was. It was nice for her to give us dessert and tea afterwards, too. They at least got compensated for their work, kind of. Indeed, it was a rewarding experience. Walking around in here brought back memories of our field study, too. Like our minor dispute here. Do you remember? Yeah, I do. You asked, do you like the path of the sword? I still think back to that question sometimes. I've also caught myself asking such things to myself since then. Caught myself asking such things to myself. A lot of myself. The path that our blades will lead us down is uncertain, but we should both endeavor to improve ourselves regardless. Wait. Machius was in the Orbital Factory? I missed that. Yeah, agreed. I'm just looking at the list of stuff. I don't actually pay that. I only check it for stuff that I'll miss. I don't actually read it through. I have to reload. But I totally missed Machius somehow. Where was he? Right here. Oh. Okay. Camera angle. Right here. Over here. And then straight out. At no point did I look on the left. Well, oh, that's kind of fun. The light from the windows totally makes the box above his head invisible. Kind of an interesting design choice to make it so that it is like not visible if this surface behind it is bright enough.
Right.
Anyway, got distracted. That's where I'll wrap up there for today. A little bit earlier, exactly same time-wise I planned, but I didn't finish Celdic yet. I still have to talk to Machias and Alphen, as well as Emma, Eustace, and Sarah. So I got through 7 out of 12 this time. While I do that, I'll have to talk to Princess Alphen for probably a Medal of Charity. And then Becky, who is the girl whose father runs the stall and is supposed to be Scottish, I think. That hopefully won't take too long next time. It'll take at least a half hour. But then after that, it will finally be the end of part one of Act 2 will be over. Took a little longer than I thought, though. So, have a nice day. Bye-bye.